And good morning. We're going to go ahead and do our English lesson today. I was supposed to be Zooming with you today, so we didn't get to do that because of my internet. All right, so let's go ahead and look at lesson 1 in your English book. Now, your English book for 5th grade is very, very similar to the 4th grade book. It's just going to add some new stuff. So you're going to be learning some new stuff and reviewing all the stuff that you learned last year in 4th grade too. All right, now it's going to be the same format. You have a chapter of grammar, and then you're going to have a writing chapter, and then a chapter of grammar and a writing chapter, and so on, just like we did last year. But just like we did last year, whenever it comes to the writing chapters, I'm going to walk you through each step very easily. So the writing will be great. By the time we get finished with this book, you'll be like an author. You'll be awesome. Okay, so let's look at page 1. We're just going to start at the beginning. Sentences and fragments. Okay, so a sentence is a group of words that expresses a complete thought. What begins a sentence? A capital letter. What ends a sentence? A punctuation mark, right? You know that. All right, fragments. Let's talk about fragments. Now, another fancy schmancy term for fragment is a dependent clause. Now, anything or anyone that is dependent, actually, I think that meant, no, these are opposites. So fragments and dependent clause is a fancy name for a sentence. Dependent, no, that's a fragment. Okay, dependent. When you're dependent, that means that you can't stand alone. So that would be a fragment. So fragments and dependent clauses are the same thing. Okay, so one of my favorite meals eats rice with chopstick. I think that's supposed to be eats. Hang on. Okay, I think I spelled that wrong. All right, eats rice with chopsticks because my father likes fried rice and after we ate supper. Now, what's missing from this first fragment? Whoop. What's missing from this fragment? One of my favorite meals. The favorite meal, right? We don't know the subject. The subject's missing. We don't know what it is. Okay? So, eats rice with chopsticks. Who? Who eats rice with chopsticks? The subject's missing. Okay? Because my father likes fried rice, okay, he eats it all the time. I don't know. After we ate supper, okay, a dependent clause is a group of words that has a subject and a predicate like these, but doesn't express a complete thought. Usually starts with a joining word like although, because, after, before, until, when, or where. So 3 and 4, these here are what we call dependent clauses because my father likes fried rice. Father is your subject, likes is the verb. So it's got a subject and a verb, but it's not complete. Something is still missing. And the way we know that is because it starts with this right here. Now, if you took this word off, my father likes fried rice, it would be a sentence. But since you've got this word here, it's dependent. It's dependent on the rest of the sentence. Same thing as this one. Okay, let's look at complete predicates then. Hope I'm not getting too far ahead. Yeah, complete predicates. Okay. All the words in the predicate part of a sentence make up the complete predicate. A complete predicate contains the verb and everything else that goes with it. Now, the complete subject can be one word, or it can be many words, but it's all the words in the subject part. That's the complete subject. Okay, so let's look at the guided practice on page 1. All right, so 1 through 8. If it's a fragment, put an F. If it's a complete sentence and it makes sense, put an S. Okay, and then on numbers 9 and 10, you're going to finish the sentence. Number 9, you need to finish the predicate. And number 10, you'll need to finish the subject. And number 11, it wants you to look at that dependent clause because it starts with after. So it's dependent. That means it's not complete. but it wants you to take whatever word off of there and make it complete. Okay? All right, so go ahead and press pause and do the guided practice right quick, and then when you turn it back on, I'll go over and make sure you got the right answers before you do the next page, okay? Okay, number 1, F, it's a fragment. Number 2 is a sentence. 3, fragment. 4, fragment. If you miss these, that's okay. Just mark it out and write the correct answer. Okay, number 5 is a sentence. 6 is fragment. 7 is fragment. 8 is sentence. Okay, number 9 and 10 I can't check. And number 11, you just should have taken the word after off, and it would just be the rice was cooked, period. Okay, and that's your complete sentence. Okay, so go ahead and do the next page for your assignment. It's going to be 1 through 15. Should be super, super easy. And I do want you to do the applying right, okay? All right, if you have any questions, then you can ask your Nana if she'll text me, okay? All right, other than that, I will see you soon.